my house, come on, turn it up. Hear a knock on the door and the night begins. Cause we've done this before, so you come on in.
I've not been able to up my dance game since we started playing.
Pour yourself something cold.
Chair cardio.
Sometimes you gotta stay in. And you know where I live. Yeah, you know what we is.
It's Wednesday.
Welcome to my
House. That's the only part I know. That's it. I love those two parts.
All right.
Karen, you went live without even putting a post about what we're doing.
What?
You went live and you didn't even like put like a message like, "Hey, we're live with Command Your Morning." You just went live.
I did. You know, the last time I got to do a camera in that song, I was in Africa driving. You know, they drive all wackadoodle there. And what happened was we were making.
What happened was
we were making carpool karaoke to this song in South Africa, driving on the wrong side of the road with the wrong seat on the bus, or wrong seat, you know, wrong way, wrong side, everything wrong.
Yeah. Then what happened?
Then I flew back to Chicago.
Oh, I didn't even listen to really. I don't even know what you just said. What were you saying? Sorry. Can you say that again?
Yeah, I did a carpool karaoke to this song.
Oh.
In South Africa.
Oh, in South Africa. Let's see, now that's interesting.
Last night or yesterday, I did a call with Czech Republic.
How'd that go?
Czech Republic. It was awesome. I talked to the OP, who is also a team leader in Mexico, which is amazingly interesting, and the new team leader. It was really fun.
Hey, can we talk about how you and I were invited to speak at the mega camp for, what is it, Portugal? Portugal. That's right. We got,
Did you get the Portuguese training, the language lesson book?
Did you mail me a Rosetta Stone class?
No, they said you have to learn the basics. Like, you didn't get that?
No, you're kidding. They did not say that. You're joking. I'm gonna look at it.
There's a live link in there to download your ebook.
Shut up! You're kidding.
Get off your computer.
I'm gonna look. I'm just
kidding. That was funny though.
Oh my gosh!
You know what I wanted to tell you on Monday that I forgot to tell you? Well, it doesn't really matter, but I'm sure nobody else has noticed because it's fine, and everybody knows I'm crazy and OCD. Which shoes our guest?
I never noticed that.
Yeah, one of my favorite people is our guest today, but he.
Hold on, wait. When are we doing the Portugal thing?
I added it to your calendar, of course.
I know, I'm just looking for the calendar invite. That's all.
Can you not do that like this second, please?
It's in October, right?
Yeah, come on, back to
now. See, now I'm doing it on purpose to bother you.
Oh my God! So I wore my Ruth Bader Ginsburg, my RBG shirt on Monday, right, in homage to her. But
yes.
That was the first time since we started this.
Hold on, stop. Because you're not even reading the comments. And Josh team just commented. Josh, I just get my heart flutters when you comment. Love you too, bro. I'm so glad we have our biggest fan, Josh team.
He's not our biggest fan. He's like the biggest deal.
Josh, you're not. Now that you commented and said you're our biggest fan, you have. I'm emailing Teresa today. We're getting you locked in for an episode.
Did he really?
No, he just said, "Oh my God, I love this show, and I'm getting ready in the morning."
Oh my God! He probably
I'm jotting that right now.
He probably changes his shirt from the day before. Okay, listen.
I changed my shirt. By the way, talking about my shirt.
Stop.
No, this is important.
Talk to me.
This is Tourette's. This is Tourette's awareness.
That's awesome. It's actually really cool. Okay.
Right, go ahead. I got really excited when Josh says hi, I get excited.
I mean, seriously, bromance, one-sided. Stalker.
It's literally one-sided. Like
Stalker.
I don't know where my emails go. I'm just kidding.
Okay, time out.
Go. Go. Tell the story.
I wore my RBG in homage, right? She's the first female that is going to be lying in state at the Capitol. I'm so excited because she's definitely earned it. But no one has noticed because I'm crazy. But I wear my hair different every day, right? So like today's straight. Okay, what do you think?
I like your hair straight.
And then Monday was the only time since we've been doing this show. So I don't know how many episodes, because I don't really know how long we've been doing it, because 2020 has blended together to one big.
Wait, we have to count, because when we get to 100, we have to do a big party.
Oh my God, Josh should be on our show. So,
okay.
So then that was the only time I ever wore the same shirt twice on our show.
When?
Monday.
Oh, out of all the episodes we've ever done, that was the only time you ever wore the same shirt twice?
Yeah.
But see, here's the difference. You're going into the office. I work from home, and I do. I mean, listen, if I have so a lot of times I come down here and I'm not like, I just get up and I drink my coffee, I eat my oatmeal, and I just come down here. Like I might have the same shirt on. Because sometimes if I wear t-shirts, I'll just wear it to bed.
Listen, if I come home, like I was on Monday, and then when Shoes, my regional director, saw me on the OP call at 2:00 on Monday, I was wearing something entirely different. Like when I come home, I just come home and like put on total yoga clothes, put my hair up, that's it.
You also posted in the command conversion group at like 3:00 in the morning.
I know, I could not sleep. Well, you know why? I had a commitment of work I had to get done, and I was committed to get it done. And my God, did I get it done. And so I worked literally from like 6 p.m. I had a few phone calls, but 6 p.m. till 2 a.m. straight and got it done. How about that?
Speaking of which, yeah, I was working late because if anyone watching is from Monmouth County, New Jersey, I'll be doing a session today from 10 to 11 for the Monmouth County, New Jersey Tech Fest. So I was up till like 11 finishing my PowerPoint. So that should be fun. I'm excited.
No. All right, let's bring in our guest before he pouts, Nick, okay? Because he's pouting a little bit.
Is he really? Can you see him pouting?
Well, he's pouting. He's like, listen, I don't on today. You all can have JT, Josh Team, if you think he's better than.
Do you think it's a coincidence that Josh Team and Justin Timberlake? Do you think it's a coincidence that Josh Team and Justin Timberlake have the same initials?
I think it's funny because Shoes wanted me to play Josh Team today. I mean, Justin Timberlake is my music.
See, you don't even know. For all you know, Justin Timberlake songs are by Josh Team.
Maybe Josh Team wrote the songs.
Do you think Josh Team wrote Bye Bye Bye, or did he write It's Gonna Be May?
It's Gonna Be May.
He totally wrote that one.
Shoes, John Schumacher, who are you? Who are you?
Up? Good morning.
What up?
I am the brains behind Josh Team. I do most of, a lot of people don't know this, I've done most of the coding in connection with Command. And
are you Josh Team's father?
I am his father and his son.
Wow, that my brain is all sorts of crazy right now thinking about how that's possible.
I know.
Who are you really?
Yeah, who are you really?
I'm just a guy. I'm a guy that stumbled on this show, and somebody invited me in and gave me a biscuit, so I thought I'd stay.
That's what we put in the green rooms for our guests. Biscuits.
I'm the regional director for the Mid-American region of Keller Williams.
Oh, you know what? I love that. I love that name for the region, Mid-American. It's like, what? Is that the only thing that was available? Like, you couldn't be like, I would call it like, Chicago region, right? No, I don't know.
No, because we have, where's our region, Shoes?
I don't know.
It's the entire state of Illinois. It's northern Indiana. And then I'm positive that the boundaries were drawn late at night. Perhaps there was alcohol involved because there's a little teeny strip along the western edge of Indiana, and it goes down and then the southern tip of Indiana. So the bottom line is I got folks driving 7 hours up to Chicago for our regional meetings. Yes. And people say, hey, can I talk to your Lafayette Market Center? And I say, sure. And then they say, can I talk to your Indianapolis Market Center? I'm going, well, no, that's not ours.
Well, Shoes, I was a member of the North Texas, New Mexico, right, and Memphis region.
Right.
That was magical too.
I'm thinking there might be.
I think that happened the same night.
It was the same people involved. That's right.
Hey, yep. Shoes, I just want you to know that Jack Winkler, who's watching the show, he figured it out. If you're Josh Team's father and Josh Team's son, then you're your own grandfather.
My mother, my sister, sorry.
Okay.
Did I tell you something you already knew? There was no reaction to that. He was like, I knew that.
Shoes, how many agents in the Mid-American region do you lead?
Approximately 3,755.
Who's your favorite team leader?
Well, no,
That's a very difficult. Who's your favorite team leader named
my favorite team leader, Karen Prahl.
How did you? That was a good.
Who's your favorite OP?
Let me
All right, let's move on.
uh,
Let's move on. What's it like being Karen's
Karen
boss?
Prahl.
Yeah, what's it like working with me?
Yeah, tell me about Karen. Tell us things we don't know.
Here's what you want to know.
What's her biggest weakness?
There are super talented people in many walks of life, and they bring their own set of unique challenges, right? They really do. Empire building talent are special. They have egos. They have drive. They have a tendency to ask for forgiveness before permission.
That is true.
Right. And there's a lot of people in my world that don't want those folks around them because, right, they disrupt the force. And I want them in my world. And I recognize they do bring special problems and special challenges, and they do have egos, and they do go way too fast. And sometimes they stray outside the bumper lanes, and I want them in my world. Karen Prahl is one of those.
Oh my gosh, I love it.
I want the Karen Prahls in my world, knowing that they bring special challenges with them, because I want people to get stuff done, that think bigger than I do, that live larger than I do, that go faster, that get it done. Karen Prahl gets it done.
Mm-hmm. And who listened to old school hip hop from the 90s. Hey,
you got to be happy with the steel, baby.
People who don't know you, they want to know why we're calling you Shoes.
Oh my gosh, we don't even have a real name for you. When people call you John, do you know you're in trouble?
Yeah, can you introduce him to the people that aren't in your region?
My dad calls me Johnny. Carol calls me John. That's it.
What is your name?
John Schumacher. Started in, I'm going to say maybe grade school. Some kid probably at Bottenfield Elementary couldn't pronounce Schumacher. So it's been Shoes most of my life. Shoe morphed into Shoes. So it's the long version of Shoe.
And how long have you been in real estate?
It's either 42 or 43 years, 1978.
How is that possible? Look how young you are.
I know it.
And you tell us about your beginning. Tell us about your beginning, Shoes.
I grew up a poor sharecroppers. No, not that far back. I grew up in Champaign, Illinois, home of the Fighting Illini. Woo! Grew up in the shadow of our university and attended it. And all I knew was I liked sports, didn't know what I wanted to do. So believe it or not, I graduated. The name of the college on my diploma from Illinois is Leisure Studies, and it was appropriate because I drank a lot of beer and played a lot of basketball. I'm a leisure studies major, and I started, I was a recreation supervisor up in suburban Chicago in Des Plaines, and I got married. This is 1977, and decided that I needed to make more than $13,700, which was my salary back then. My parents, I'm an SOB. A lot of people already knew that. I'm a son of a broker, and it's definitely bad.
I've never heard that before. That's funny.
You never heard that?
No.
Me too.
It's definitely bad because
I'm a son of a broker. I'm an SOB for sure.
both of my parents were in real estate. And they convinced me to come back to Champaign if I was serious about getting into real estate. So I did. I moved back to Champaign. 1978, I sold a lot of real estate over the next 20-some years. I bought my parents out. We converted those offices and built them into the #1 RE/MAX office in the St. Louis region. Yeah, I don't know when, around 2000 or so, I took over a struggling large regional Coldwell Banker firm. I became president of Coldwell Banker Devonshire, turned it around, built it up. We were the #7 Coldwell Banker affiliate in their system. at that point in time, I decided to go back to school. I stayed in my role, but I always wanted what it'd be like to actually go to class. So I'm serious. I got through college my first time around basically on, I faked my way through, and I didn't feel like I'd earnestly applied myself. And so I went back, I got my MBA, and that was challenging to go back and take some statistics classes, and I had to take college algebra a fourth time.
How old were you at this point?
Pardon?
How old were you at that point?
How old was I? Probably 50.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Yeah, it was. So I did that. Coldwell Banker knew me and created a position. I became their executive business consultant. 3 out of 4 weeks, I was flying to Maui, Seattle, LA, Vegas, Tahoe, Albuquerque, coaching their largest 25 owners. I put together a study group within Coldwell Banker called the Blue Ocean Group. I was a CRS instructor. I taught the business planning course. I also taught there's a school of selling called Ninja Selling that I happen to believe in, which is relationship based. And so all that was going. I was going to be the next regional vice president for Coldwell Banker. Things were great, and then I got this call out of the blue from this guy named Mark Willis 8 years ago. As it turns out, Steve Murray had referred Mark to me, and I'm the kind of guy that when my mom says, "Don't you dare go look at the solar eclipse tomorrow because you'll go blind," I'd be out on the sidewalk with one of those boxes, right? I want to check this thing out. So every meeting that I had at Realogy, there was a portion to talk about this evil empire that was kicking our butt called Keller Williams. And so I was like, that's interesting. And Mark sent me to John Davis. And make a long story short or medium, for whatever reason, I was offered the opportunity to come to Chicago, where Keller Williams had failed dismally from outside, and to turn things around. And that was an opportunity I couldn't pass up. That was 7 years ago, and we've done some good since then. End of story.
What have you learned?
I've learned that the fastest way to grow my region is to grow myself in a very real way. And I've also learned that niceness is not a substitute for competence. And that includes myself. That includes the people that I'm in business. I want to be in business with people I enjoy, and that are fun and nice. And most people would categorize me as a nice person. And at the same time, one of the things that Keller Williams has done for me, especially early in my role, is it has made me tougher in a good way. And I needed to become tougher. And I've learned that real love and real caring has a real place in business. And one of the ways that we demonstrate our real love and our real caring is with real truth and real direct communication.
Wow.
There.
I love that.
Shoes, that was really good.
Yeah.
Well, it's almost the way I wrote it.
To lead a region, I was going to say something like all the pictures added up. What's it been like for you to lead a region and with your like our direct connect to Keller Williams International during this pandemic and financial crisis and everything? Like, what do those conversations look like behind the curtain that we don't get to see?
They look like, I know we're throwing a lot at you. I know there's new initiatives, new programs. We know that. And this is the time that we all have to lean in. I mean, I look to our leader, Gary Keller. Gary's a year younger than I am, so I consider him a peer in terms of age. When I look at the hours, the energy, the enthusiasm that he displays at the top, it is impossible for me to say, Oh, I've been here 43 years. I'm tired. I want to coast. This is not the time to coast. And so what I've learned is there's much more within me and within us, and that my job as a leader is to find a way. If I try something and it doesn't work, it doesn't mean stop. It means find another way. Try another way.
I think your son, Jack, is one of the best examples of that.
Oh, that's not fair.
Why?
Why is that not fair?
That's an emotional topic for me, because you're right, and it's he's a magnificent story. Yeah, it's true.
So does he work with Keller Williams, or does he do something else?
No. My son lost his leg in Afghanistan. A rocket propelled grenade took it off, and his buddy's arm in the same incident. And Jack spent a couple years at Walter Reed because his recovery was really challenging, and he was really depressed and bummed. And the bottom line is that he decided not to become a victim, and it changed the trajectory of his life in a very powerful way. And it's the best example to me that I've seen of the power of forming a vision of what's possible, of who you can become in the future, and holding on to that. That's a much more powerful motivation than I really want to increase my unit sales from 37 to 62, or we need to get appointments up over 40, or gross or net, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's who can I become, and what does that do for me? And Jack was a great example to me and a lot of other people.
Yeah, it's an extraordinary story, because I think right now people are so lost, and they're scared, and they're lonely, and they're isolated. Anxieties and everything are so tough. And what can we be grateful for today that we can use to push us through for tomorrow?
Amen. I'm convinced that there is so much more emotional toil, both seen and unseen, that what we're going through takes. I don't think any of us fully know what we're experiencing or what we're going through, and it's real, and it's powerful, and it's insidious. And you're exactly right, Karen. We have to cling to the good things that we do have, in the hope and belief that tomorrow is not going to look like today.
Yeah. And I think part of me is like, hey, just stay in our bubble of our close friends and family and ignore the rest and move forward in some ways, right? It's self-preservation for many people right now too.
I think there's been a lot of that going on. I think there are a lot of people that are still saying, I'm going to wait for things to get back to normal. And it's like, no.
You know, I was rewatching Gary's market update last night, because it's on the Mega Camp website. And, at the end, he said something, that I firmly believe to be true, is that, like, this is going to be the new normal. I mean, we're going to have to live with this our kids are going to grow up. He's like, our kids are going to grow up wearing masks. It's not going to be a big deal to them, but to us, it'll be, it'll be difficult. But, this is going to be the way that our children are going to see the world. Right. And so we just, and listen, it's going to, like everything, it will gradually fade away, but it's not going to be anytime soon, And so I agree with him 100% on that.
I also think there's some really amazing gifts that this time has brought us, right? I'm hearing stories about people that are, having meals with their family, and, I don't know how many days in a row now, Angie Fucini, our regional operations manager, has been to yoga. She's now contemplating the notion of becoming a yoga instructor, right? There are people that are finding extraordinary ways to do even more business than they ever did. There are people that are finding the strength to say, I'm going to make a difference in this time, right? And so, I firmly believe that the the seeds of the very best things in life are contained in the things that look like the worst. And that's how I choose to look at this. Even though I miss my friends, I miss my family, I moved back to Champaign because of this pandemic, because it put me back in touch with some things that I had lost touch with that were important to me. And that's a gift.
And if anybody's looking for a nice 2-bedroom condo in Streeterville in Chicago.
For sale, for contract. Yeah, I know of one.
Yeah. What does your morning?
Get it done.
What does your morning look like? Because like you've never been in better shape, right? You've never. I mean, you're obviously the most handsome regional director we have.
I get that a lot.
Yeah. You're tall. It's nice. You wear cute shoes and stuff. So nice glasses. What do you do in the morning?
I'm up between 3:30 and 5. That's not necessarily intentionally. That's just I got one of those minds that once it starts talking to me, I pretty much pay attention and get up now. The first thing that I do, I have altered my morning routine several times, but the very first thing that I do is I brew 8 cups of really strong coffee, and I flip on a fireplace, and I will sit down and I start my day as soon as my feet plant the floor. I say to myself out loud, this is going to be a great day. This is going to be a great day. That's a habit that I picked up in, I think it was called the Little Habits or something. And, you know, that probably lasts 10 seconds. But if I can start my day with that thought, and I drive stack nuts. In fact, she'll say, hey, you forgot to say today's going to be a great day in the midst of her sleep.
She his wife by her last name.
Yeah, I do. So I'll start off with some coffee. I'm by the fireplace. I'm a journaler, and so I'm writing almost every day. And it'll usually be what's bothering me, or who do I want to become, or it might be gosh, golf is frustrating me, and I want to write more about it. Whatever. I will sit and read. I will typically be in the middle of a nonfiction and a fiction book. Right now, I'm reading a whole bunch of neuro-linguistic programming and how to become a better coaching book, because I think there's some of that on my horizon, and I need to become a more powerful coach to those people in my world and myself right now. And golf does frustrate me eternally, so I'm always reading something golf-related. So I'm going to write. I'm going to read at 7 a.m. on Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays. I've got a small group of guys. I meet them at the Champaign Country Club, and we walk 9 holes. We're not golfing. We walk 9 holes together, and we do 15 push-ups on each tee.
That's really cool.
We get a little bit of physicality. One of the reasons I came back here was to reconnect with some friends and some groups that I've been involved in, and so that's a way for me to have a sense of community, start the day in the out of doors in a beautiful setting, a little bit of physical. Tuesdays and Thursdays now at 7, Stack and I are going to a trainer. So for me, I would call myself a loper. I don't like to burst into the day. I have tried going to the gym first thing. I like to mosey into my day, and some coffee and some mulling. I'm gonna maintain that professional mulling, time to contemplate the past, the future, who I am, who I want to become, is a dollar productive activity as part of my 20%. So I make room for that first.
I'm with you, man. Like Karen asks me why, I mosey on down here and I'm like on this computer at 8:29, ready to go at 8:30. It's like, I'm just like you. Like I wake up.
No, that's not the same. I'm German. What time was I here, Karen?
7,
but I'm never late.
I wake up and I mosey, but I wake up at 5 so I can mosey.
I'm never late, though. I'm always here just in time to go live. That's only when that's right when you need me.
You're like the slide in. You're like,
yeah, I need space. I need some space. Those days that are filled with back to back to back to back to back to back, where at the end of the day I go, man, somehow I did all that. too much of that will take a big toll on me psychically.
Yeah, like yesterday I had 1, 2, 3, 4. I had like 6 Zoom calls yesterday. My eyes were bugging out of my head. Each one was like an hour and a half. And then, you know, it was my wife's birthday.
You wussy.
I have a 5-year-old and an 8-year-old who wakes up at 1:30 in the morning and can't go back to sleep. So I mosey. I'm worse than moseying into my morning then.
Slides in. He probably props the chair at the front door, the door to his basement, so he could sit in and slide over. If he had hair, like whoosh back, and he'd be like, "I'm here."
Bye.
Always here on time.
Okay, right.
A few years ago, I stumbled onto the one thing, and it's changed my life in terms of how I organize my week, my day, my life, my business, my personal life.
It was you that got Joel and I involved in the One Thing retreat, which was a life changer for us, and we'll never stop. That was like one of the best things we ever started doing.
That's how I feel as well. It's simply the best way to organize myself that I have found. So that's why I do it. That's why I talk about it.
Yeah, it's awesome. So when you're looking for leaders, what traits are you looking for? Like literally, like you're like that you've been right, and then tell me where you've been wrong. I really know.
First of all, I love people that there's 2 things that I really, really love to see. One is assertiveness. I want people that are going to they're going to cause some ripples. And secondly, I like people that have grit. I love people that are scuffed pennies, that have screwed up and own it, that have had a tough go, that have had some life experiences that have seasoned them, that have caused some wisdom and some scuffed knees and elbows. I prefer to go to the public driving ranges than the driving range at my pretty little country club, because that's just how I'm wired, right? So I'm going to say grit and assertiveness. I have been wrong when I haven't listened to the little voice inside myself, right? Even I who teach career visioning have made several hires that I knew were better than who I was replacing, that were good but weren't great. And I had to go back and find great later. And it's twice as much work, right? It just is. And so I have done that several times, where I haven't listened to the very things that I teach. And there are other times where I've gotten it right. There are times recently where people have brought candidates to me that I didn't see those traits, and I didn't believe in my heart of hearts that this was the difference-making talent that we have to have in our world. And I said, no, I won't approve them. And I was right.
But that's why people look to you too, is for that insight and advice, whether good, bad, or indifferent. Sometimes, I mean, I think if I've seen you evolve into one thing, is that you're not afraid to dive and lean into a difficult conversation.
Because that's the most direct way to resolution and to get to the other side of it. If we round off the edges of a conversation, or, you know, I can certainly be a people pleaser. And yet, when it comes to accomplishing the mission, it doesn't move us forward. And ultimately, it's the least compassionate way for me to show up. So I want to bang heads with people. I want to have the kind of relationships where people know my heart, so that when we do bang heads, even if they're angry or disagree, they know my heart, so it's okay, and we'll come back together.
That's how I've worked with you, I feel like. I hope it feels the same way.
It is 100%.
Yeah. I know in the core who we are as people, that I love you. Like, you're a true friend and stuff. So, and we can we can still not agree on everything.
You're a total pain in the ass, and you're often wrong, and I love you, and I want you in my world, and it's better for having you in it. And you're a total pain in the ass. Nick, would you disagree?
I'm 110% agree with you.
6% of the population agree.
I'm still debating though whether or not I want her in my world though, but I'm just not.
I'm clear on that one. I am clear on that one.
No, I'm just kidding. But that is true. And Karen and I have arguments pretty much every day. So oh, it's rough. It's rough.
I'd rather be around people that know what they want and know what they believe.
And my wife says to me, "Are you having another argument with your real estate wife?"
Well, yeah.
But yeah, no.
Paul and I are going to get married, and then more frequently we break up.
Yeah, well, because his wife loves the country and small town life, and my husband loves the country and small town life, and they enjoy each other. They've met, and so we just thought, well, you know, Shoes and I will work. You all enjoy the lifestyle that you become accustomed to together. He likes the cowboy.
But I think I think she's going to increase my allowance, so I'm going to stick around for a little while.
How much? Like an extra 20 a week now?
40 a month. 40 a month. So I'll get 60.
All right. What do your goals look like for 2021?
I'm going to be a 65-year-old badass.
Badass of you to say that.
Well, right. More than anything, I intend to be an example for myself, for the people in my world, for younger people, for older people. I am not going to be one of those guys that sits around on the couch getting fat talking about how awesome his high school football days were. Like, I believe that I can be much more vibrant, much more powerful at this quarter in my life. And so there's a lot of physical things on my agenda for next year. And secondly, you know, I will say my coach, John Vanderganst, challenged me, really rocked my world about 6 months ago. My mission at the time was to grow and in so doing inspire other people. And John said to me in the middle of one of my, you know, tirades, he said, "Shoes, how much more time are you going to spend trying to make up for the person that you used to be?" And I was like, holy crap. And then he said, "What's a mission that's bigger than yourself?" And I've been a reluctant mentor and leader in some regards. And now I'm beginning to own that there are some people whose lives I can impact powerfully through some coaching and mentoring. And I intend to do that.
That was awesome. Okay. I appreciate your time today. I know how hard you book. And we're doing the ALC leadership today, all day today. So, you know, nothing like timing to let this work out.
I'm excited for a Zoom call.
I'm excited for a 7-hour Zoom call today. So was I gentle enough on you?
Thank you. I feel like I leave this show in one piece.
Well, listen, I tell you sometimes when I'm emotionally fragile and vulnerable too. So I think it works. We got to trust each other that we'll take care of each other.
I trust you.
Ditto. Nick, anything you want to add? Because I got a song to play out.
I don't think I want to add to that, because if I add anything, it'll probably ruin the whole show. So I'm going to just let.
We usually let Economos do that for us too, like ruin the.
Let silence speak.
Yeah.
Love you both. Love what you're doing. Thank you.
Thank you, Boo.
Caught my heart about 1-2 times. Don't need to question the reason I'm yours.
I thought you were going to play In Sync.
I know the other.
I'm saving JT for JT.
A little flow rider.
No flaws.
Jonas Brothers?
I'm not trying to be your part-time lover.
Huh?
Sign me up for that full-time.
Your brothers?
Yeah.
Oh.
So what a man gotta do?
Oh yeah, I like the song. All right, I gotta go.
What a man gotta say.
I love you.
What a man gotta pray.